That's actually quite a good segue into my topic about taking things away. But I'll do the little riddle before I get there. So, why did the monster's mother knit him 3 socks?
Take away.
3 feet.
She heard he grew another foot.
What's your topic?
So, my topic. I told you they get worse, and that's the worst.
I guess there's a bit of alliteration. The monster's mother.
So I'm going to talk about a game that is a 3DS download exclusive from the eShop, and the reason why I'm talking about this,
still going.
It's still going. 3DS
Go on.
is a great console. Just because we're not all on
It
VR
is,
like
but
you.
it's fucking old now, isn't it?
It's over.
It's fucking dated now, isn't it?
It's a bit of a dated console.
So
Let's face it.
So recently, Nintendo did the same thing that PlayStation did last year. I think actually, weirdly, we're getting that line where the amount of episodes we'd done last year was at the point PlayStation decided we're going to close the stores. And Nintendo
History
are now
repeats
doing this.
itself,
Yeah,
as
it's
they say.
repeating itself. The difference here is, though, PlayStation went back on their word and they actually kept
Yes.
the Vita and the PS3 stores open. However,
Nintendo
it's been a good month now, isn't it? I think Nintendo said we're going to close the 3DS and the Wii stores. Nothing. Then they're still
Well, it
closing.
takes a little while for Nintendo to hear what anyone is saying, so you'll probably get it in about 5 years.
Yeah, when it's already closed and gone.
Yeah. And then they go, oops, sorry, should have said something.
Yeah.
I think I don't know how you guys feel about this closure. For me, I think this one
Couldn't give a
probably hurts the most. I think in terms of I can see why. I know you don't care because you don't. You don't have these consoles.
Again. I don't give a fuck. And then you're like, this one hurts the most.
It's like, oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
This is how this is
Brutal.
good though because that's the difference. Because obviously I don't play like from Software and Love the Punishment like Adson does. We're different. That's good.
He's like, I don't play those fucking shit games.
But like for me, it's like a little thing. Like recently, they said games like Mother, for instance, or Earthbound, whichever version you call it, because I know in the States it's different from our one. That's becoming a what is it? The online Switch thing that you've got subscription.
Yeah.
That's a game. That's a game you can play on it. But with that subscription, you don't own any of these games. Whereas on the 3DS, you can buy this. Not
I'm
only
happy
with
not owning games though. Like Game Pass, you don't own the games, but
Yeah.
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 And it's a bit like music, like you don't own any of the music on your
No, on
subscription services,
Spotify,
you
yeah.
license them, so.
Totally. Yeah. Listen to us on Spotify. Listen to us on Spotify. And
I
Apple
don't know
Music.
where I
Download
sit.
us on the eShop.
How do you feel though about games that would then be subscription based, but they're gone? They're taken off the subscriptions. You can no longer play them. Then they could potentially be like your favourite games.
Have I already
Well,
played
this
it?
almost happened with the Metal Gear Solid games, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
There was,
There was a copyright issue with music or something, wasn't there? And they
Yeah.
had to take them off
two
the
of them.
PlayStation Now
Infringed.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're back on now, aren't they? But they had to take them
Yeah, I
off
think they are.
temporarily.
But I was midway through playing them when that happened. And
I think if they're a game like that that's so well renowned, I guess, and really well known, I think that would be like devastating. But yeah.
If it's a game that I have, because like my mind goes to.
If it's a
Something
game that I
like
care
Jet Set.
about, then I care.
Yeah.
If it's one that I don't care about, then I don't.
I always love that Matt's comment. Like,
The way I
care
see
about the ones I don't give a shit.
the way I see it is it is a bit akin to something like Jet Set Radio Future, which I've always wanted to replay on like the newer consoles. But that is OG Xbox exclusive. That is the only way you can play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's the
I
one...
just don't have access, and I just accept that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it lives in your memory.
I always find it digital games, especially the ones where it's like has a big brand like Marvel. Like the example I'm thinking of is like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on the Vita. You just can't buy digitally because the license has run out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it gets a
Oh,
bit
right, okay.
shit.
Yeah.
It is all a bit
I
shit.
suppose that's the thing with digital. Is
Ideally,
the
everything
licensing.
will be on everything.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's the big
yeah.
problem as well. It's the digital market against the physical as well. For me personally, I collect physically. I buy most of my games physically if I'm going to own them. I think the big problem is a lot of these games now are becoming increasingly more expensive. So like I was looking today, like relating to the game I'm going to talk about, Level 5 produce it, and they've got a series called Yokai Watch. And the third game in that series is £100 now on the 3DS.
Fuck.
Is that like the physical one?
That's the physical, yeah, to visit. But on the store,
Yeah.
obviously, it's cheaper. But the moment the store closes now, those games are just going to hike up in crazy
Skyrocket.
prices.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. It like
Can you not
it,
when the store goes down? Can you not keep that library though?
So what they've said is you can keep the games you've downloaded. You won't be able to re-download them. So you've got to
That's
make
pretty
sure
shit,
all the
isn't
games. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, if say
That's
for
really
instance
crap,
my
actually.
3DS was to like break and I got another 3DS, all the games I own digitally, which isn't
gone.
many, would
Yeah.
be gone. And I think it's
That's
the games
bad.
you then lose as well because they have the virtual console, so you can play like the old Zeldas, old Pokemon. Like I've got ways of playing them. That's not the problem for me. But if I wanted to play them on a 3DS on the go, they're just there digitally, ready to go. Whereas we're losing
yeah.
that with the store closure.
And famously, the Switch not a on-the-go console.
But where's the virtual console?
Huh?
Where's the virtual console?
online
That's my point. It's all the
membership
games
thing.
that you're going to have that are on there that you're not going to have anymore. They've not been carried over. There's no other way of playing them. Especially with the 3DS with the dual screen.
That's
a
the
lot of those
worry,
games
isn't
aren't
it?
coming over. I
I'm
think
sure
that's what
they'll,
it's,
they'll
you're
announce it
losing
in the
a
next
library.
direct, won't they? There'll be an
Well, you lost
announcement.
a lot of
we're
Wii
gonna bring
games.
in that games.
All the
Yeah.
WiiWare stuff went. And I think it's
WiiWare.
going to be the same for this. The Wii, like the Wii U, 3DS. There's some games you're never
It's
going to
fine.
play anywhere else.
We're getting a new sports game, a Switch sports game. It's fine.
I don't like it. I'm not happy with Nintendo on this personally.
I think I'm fine with it because I don't play old games.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit along the lines of Matt here. I never really
God.
played too much Nintendo games.
We've
So
agreed.
yeah, and Nintendo is the main. They're awful for this. Xbox
Yeah.
and PlayStation clearly have tried to do some things. Nintendo haven't really.
I think
Yeah.
Xbox are doing a fantastic job with what they're doing with the back compatibility that they've
Yeah,
pulled
they are.
over.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know they're saying they're stopping now, but they brought over a shit ton of games.
They have, and a lot of them
Yeah.
on Game Pass as well, which is like amazing.
And we've got this upcoming PlayStation potentially rivaling Game Pass thing where they're going to bring back old games as well. Potentially.
I think it'll take a few years, won't it? But if they do that, that'll be amazing. And if they bring it on PC, that'll be even more amazing because I don't have a PlayStation.
Yeah, I think even for people that play, I know the big one is Pokemon. I know there's like a lot of Pokemon-based 3DS games, and there's like quite important apps like Pokemon.
Well,
Bank
you see, they'll
and
just
other things.
remaster them.
Yes,
That's where you're forgetting.
I think
Like,
like for
brilliant
me, it's
money.
that
development.
what pisses me off about it.
Yeah, please be on
Is
my side.
like-
Here, Sam.
So passionate.
yeah, I know, like, I'm gonna back you up, Mark. Is like the whole lack of game preservation from Nintendo,
100%.
whilst at the same time they're so hard on like what do you call it? You know, using
the
ROMs and
DCMA?
Yeah.
emulation.
Yeah.
Like pirated
And it's like-
copies, I guess. Yeah, pirated.
It's like if you just give us ways to buy it,
Then we will.
people
yeah,
will fucking pay for it.
exactly.
But once you fucking hide it away, like you can either pay an extortionate physical fucking copy price, or you just emulate it. And like, I'm sorry, but you can't fucking just like have it both ways. Like, give us
Give us an
ways to
option.
play it.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I'll happily pay
The
money.
only way to play it is illegally. Then people are going to play it illegally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
That's what like that's what fucking pisses me off about it. Is
yeah, I get that. I do get that.
double standards. I
But at the
guess.
same
Yeah.
time, I'm like, I cannot be bothered to play old games.
Which is fine
I'm
for
bad
you.
for
Like,
that.
at the end of the day,
You
there's,
swear.
there's a lot of people out there that will play.
That do want
I-
to play old games.
I play
Yeah,
more
I
older
get that.
games than I
Yeah.
play newer games. To be fair.
I think if I
Most
didn't
of
have
my-
a job, I probably would play older games because I'd run out of games to play. But
That's the
Matt,
only
you
way you're
have
gonna
so
see
much
Matt
time to play
play.
Elden Ring.
That's a new one. That's a new game.
I love that because
yeah,
there's so many
exactly.
older games that are like really quick to get through because like that's all
Yeah,
they could run
I
on a
suppose.
disc at the time.
yeah, like a few hours. Games are ridiculously
sad,
long
isn't
now.
it?
That's the problem.
Because like one of the games we spoke about in early episodes was Zelda. We were talking about Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, the one where you can kind of switch over across. That's on the Virtual Console. That's going to be gone when this closes. So again, you won't be able to play
Shit.
unless you've got a Game Boy Color
What a
or Game Boy
shame.
Advance.
What a shame.
Right, I'm going to move over to my game now
Play
because
Zelda games.
yeah, we've lost the two of the audience.
These fucking
Other
guys,
people
these
out
guys.
there, we understand.
I get that. No, I do get it. I get it. I get that people, like those old
We
games.
understand. It's
Yeah.
just not affecting us directly.
It's not
so
our
it's hard
thing.
to care.
Yeah.
So,
So when it fucks you over with another company, fuck you. I'm not going to be sad for you.
Yeah, and then I'll moan about it and make you listen to me.
I'll be sad. I'll be sad when that happens to like Mass Effect. I think that.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if that happened to Mass Effect? How would you feel, Matt? How would you feel?
I would feel sad, but I would get over it.
When we're in the metaverse,
Of
and they get
which
rid of
that
all the VR.
remaster you said had aged not very well, right?
Oh, I've been playing that, and it's actually pretty
Every time I
good.
see Matt Linus, Mass Effect.
I'm on a third
When I
game
said
now.
that song for Ghost Rider, he was like, I thought that was a Mass Effect song.
I fucking played so
I was
much
like,
Mass Effect. Yeah.
You're in too deep.
Okay, so with the closure, I thought I'd play some digital games that will be lost forever because they are only on the 3DS digital. Of
I
which,
forgot we haven't even talked about your subject yet. Jesus
I know,
Christ.
it's a big outrage from Nintendo. My only note actually was Nintendo can fuck off. I
Yeah.
didn't write anything else for that. So that was all off the dome.
And that was
there.
like a 15-minute debate.
So I know we've got Kirby coming out later this month, and the very first
Ooh,
ever
yes.
open world Kirby actually was on 3DS digital, and that's going to be the next game
open
I
world.
like to play at some point.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
But the game I've been playing is called Attack of the Friday Monsters: A Tokyo Tale. Really weird name.
What the fuck?
It's a Japanese game, by any
A
chance.
Japanese game. So this is produced
Already
by
found the title name.
yeah, it's already
Something
gone.
Tokyo.
So this
Attack
is
on Titan, was it?
Got Titan, yeah.
Attack of the Friday Monsters. So this is a level 5 game. So they're the guys that produced Nino Kuni as well as the Professor Layton series.
Oh, I know what that is, yeah.
Nina Cooney is great. Get out.
So the Professor
know what that
Layton
is.
series actually will be something I'll probably talk
It's the
in a later
Ghibli
episode.
looking one.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I've been playing through all the Professor Laytons. Absolutely love level 5, so I thought I'll jump in on this. So this game, the music for it, first of all, stunning. Have you got a clip you can play here, Matt?
I'm waiting to him. Our voices in it now. That is beautiful. That's a
It's very Nintendo.
classic game music, yeah. I want to play this game now. I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm a sucker for good music.
So
in
level
games.
5, obviously, with Nino Kuni, we're working alongside Studio Ghibli. As well as all the teams that work on those films. So a lot of the music and that carries over from there. So if you're a big fan of Studio Ghibli, I'd say kind of jump in on this sort of game. It's a really quick game. It's only 3 hours. It's doesn't take much time out your day, but it's just
This
really
isn't a
whimsical
film, is
and
it,
nice.
this game?
No.
Okay, yeah.
So what I said to you in the group chat the other day was this is essentially like Studio Ghibli meets Godzilla.
Cool. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So it's like that.
Yeah.
So the game starts with kind of this little blurb of how like the Japanese film industry like reinvented the monster movie and the kaijus, and then in the 60s and 70s they had like hero shows where like the big boss would take on the kaiju and defeat them. Kind of
boss.
that heritage
Like
part.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, like Power Rangers. Essentially, that's where that kind of comes from, doesn't
I
it?
held back, Matt.
So your name is Sota, and you're a 10-year-old transfer student, and you find yourself in. Are you good?
Yeah, Matt just made a Metal Gear reference.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've got to get one per
It
episode,
was
haven't we?
ages
I
ago.
know we haven't had one for a while.
No, we haven't, no.
They're more subtle now.
Yeah.
So you find yourself kind of wandering the streets of Fujinohana, which is a small suburb in Tokyo's Setagaya district.
Yeah.
It's over the course of a summer afternoon in 1971.
Okay.
And you've moved there, you've transferred schools, and your parents are the new owners of the laundrette, and your mum sends you out on errand to go return some clothes to the baker that you've cleaned in the laundrette. And that's where your journey begins. But she tells you before you go, be careful, because it's Friday. And it's obviously the day that the monsters come.
Obviously.
I mean, it's the whole name of the game here, Matt.
They're going to ruin the weekend with that fucking monster shit.
So everything in this game takes place on the Friday. The town is really small, and you kind of the aim is just go and talk to everyone, find out what's going on. But there is a massive TV station, so that kind of rouses your suspicion. Maybe this is where they film these kind of shows, like the big kaiju versus hero shows. So you're like, okay,
Yeah,
maybe
right.
this is just a whimsical thought in a child's head. Maybe it's not real. And then the story kind of develops from there. You go around, you just do kind of your standard childlike things, and then you pick up these little things called glims, and the more you collect, they turn to monster cards. So there's like a card game element in this as well.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh.
So essentially, you get the monster card, and the monster card's either got a fist, a hand, or scissors on it. So you're basically playing rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
really basic
Like-
game,
Alex Kidd.
and you just need to battle other kids.
Okay. Like Pokemon.
And if you
okay.
win, you become their master, and then you tell
Yeah.
them you put a spell on them, and then they fall over. It's just sort of like a really whimsical kind of childlike game that you can imagine kids playing in the playground.
Okay.
We were probably playing Bulldog or whatever as kids.
Fucking Beyblades.
Fucking Beyblade, yeah. Crazy Bones. Do you remember Crazy Bones?
Oh, I love Crazy Bones.
Pokemon, Digimon, all them lot.
We
Yeah.
had a fucking great childhood, man.
And then kind of
Probably better
towards
than it is
the
now. Yeah.
towards the end of the game, you start seeing these monsters, but they're like smoke effects. So at that point, I'm
Okay.
like, okay, this has been built up in a way that there is monsters here, but there's not, and it's all like in the child's head. And then all of a sudden, monsters do appear. So I'm like, well, are they real or are they not? And then
It's just a fucking trippy game.
and the game just then ends.
What?
So I've been kind of sat there now, like afterwards, going,
He's been sat there for days going,
were they like
Were they real?
were they real? Was it the TV station that used them to make a show, or was it like the child's imagination?
I never
fact-
expected a 3DS game to be so deep.
I know, fucking hell.
I think it's part and parcel
Yeah.
because it's the level 5 team that work with all these other massive games.
Mm.
Because Professor
Yeah.
Layton's quite in depth, isn't it? And I've not played the Ni no Kuni.
I've
but I
never
know
played
they're-
one, but I know what it is. Yeah.
And I think,
They're good.
yeah, for 3 hours, digital exclusive, I really enjoyed it. I think the music throughout was like that introduction that Matt played.
Yeah.
So it was just really nice to listen to. It just felt like I was in a Studio Ghibli
You can have it again.
game film.
It's pretty good. Like,
It is nice. It's very pleasant.
it's very, like,
Gives me like a bit of a Dragon Quest kind of vibe.
yeah. You're about to go on a
Gone off
quest.
Yeah.
This is the start of the quest, so now walking.
Yeah. Saying goodbye to your mum.
So here's the mum.
And I kind of like the fact that
Never
it's,
dads in these
So
games.
he's saying goodbye to someone else's mum as well.
I like the fact that it finishes open ended, so you don't really know.
Yeah, that's like when you said it and then it ended, I was like, what? I thought you were about to say that there's like huge, fucking climactic battle or something like that.
And it wasn't until I finished as well that I looked back and I was like, well, each kind of thing you do is called an episode. So it is really just built
right.
up the whole time to be like a TV show. So it kind of has to
Oh,
be.
okay. Yeah.
But the way
Does
they've
that let
Cliffhanger
us-
ending, yeah.
Yeah. Would you say the kind of episodic format lends itself well to it being a handheld game then? Because it's kind of like you can, pick it up.
it's,
be like, "Oh,
it's
Yeah.
almost like the loosest
Episode
episodes
2.
ever because you will do something, you'll talk to someone, and it'll be like episode 1, and then on the map there'll be like a 1 that you go to, and you talk to the
Right.
next person, and then it all of a sudden becomes like episode 2. So it's almost like everything you do is an episode in itself. So it's not really like you
Ah.
can put down, pick up again.
Yeah,
It almost
yeah.
is one of them ones you just play in one solid run.
So, like, I can't remember. Did you say is it a good game? Like, is it a good game? Was it?
I really enjoyed it. I think it's one of them. It's something short. It's cute. The
Yeah.
monster card element with the rock paper scissors was fun just to play a game in the game. But
Yeah.
it kind of felt a
Yeah.
little bit tacked on, but it was still enjoyable.
Mm.
Yeah, I think if you like the Studio Ghibli films, although it's not directly tied to it because they're so close with the teams that are working together at the time this was
Yeah.
being made, you get that vibe. And if you like it,
Okay.
I'd say play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have 3DS, so I can't, but sure.
Yeah, I'm saying it to the wrong. I realise
Game
that
12,
after all
man.
this, I'm talking to two of the wrong people here. Sam made
I've got a 2DS.
Okay, yeah. I used to have a 3DS.
I've never played it, but I've got one.
Yeah. Still in its packaging.
I got it for a
graphics were
Pokemon game I
amazing.
barely played.
I did have a
I haven't wanted to
3DS.
get one
I
for
used to have
ages.
one, and they are a great console. Absolutely
I
awesome.
remember when you played, I think it was like the first Pokemon on 3DS. I remember hearing you in your room at uni going, "Oh my god, this looks so good!" Like just going fucking crazy over it.
I bet it looks
Now
so
it's probably
shit.
like,
Yeah, so look at him now. He's a fucking snob for it now.
Yeah.
This hasn't got ray tracing.
I wondered who you meant for a second, and then you did the impression, and I knew who you meant.
It was Addison, right?
it got really loud.
Yeah. When I get excited, I get loud.